Okay, Mr. Bentley Manual told me that it could be a problem either with the ignition switch that wouldn't allow that gauge light to illuminate, the low voltage light, or a problem with the blue wire connected to the back of the alternator. So the ignition works, the car starts, everything is okay there. I think that 12 volt is okay. And you know, doing this is kind of tight. That could have come loose. So what I'm going to do now is just plan to work on the alternator to check all the wires behind it, make sure that that's okay. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to work with the garage door closed, and I don't have a lot of room here. So I'm going to push the car forward, just give myself a place to work, kind of get the bumper up in this area. I'm going to disconnect the negative ground from the battery, and I'm going to make sure that that ground is isolated and away from that battery, because now you don't want to weld your car together accidentally, hitting hot wires. So I can basically work like a human being, and I'm just going to put a nice chair right there and take my time doing this. So I'm going to do that now, and get back to you as soon as I'm able. Okay, so I'm going to remove the battery. I moved the car up. So yeah, you want to get the negative off. Again, 13 millimeter, just loosen it. Just want to get it so that it's away from this, tucked down. That's the ground there. Like I said, I've done that already, so that should be pretty good. Okay, so all this other wire here from my other video, this is for my front electrical system. So I have a relay back in here, and just, that's how I power my radar detector and my dash cam. Okay, so negative is disconnected, and I am now without saved radio stations. All right, here I am in the back of the car. You have these tools in your tool bag. 24 millimeter for the main nut. And then you should have something that goes into these holes. Oops. You can see it right here. Look like a little fork. I have this tool here, so I don't have to dig into my toolkit. And I'm going to loosen the bolt here. And so I'll hold this as I unscrew that. And then there's the shims in there, and I'll show you how that works if you haven't been in that. But basically the shims, so that the tighter the belt is together, the further out the pulley goes. So if you're used to an American car, basically you would just loosen the alternator and then you would slide it to tighten it, right? You get your belt tension kind of like this. On this, you get it through the V pulley that squeezes and it pushes it out, or in. If you open it, it'll go lower. So a little bit different if you haven't worked on these. So I'm going to loosen this up and keep moving. Okay, the nut is off. So you have a nut, lock washer. Be careful here. Then that guy there, another washer. So it'll be like this. Okay, so here's the pulley, which that's the original pulley. Put it on the outside, 1, 2, 3, 4 shims. I'm going to leave it all in the correct orientation. Put that on the workbench. There's the belt, so that can just go down below, somewhere away. And then on the inside, 1, Uh-oh, dropped it. All right, to get the magnet. So 2 shims on the inside. All right, I lucked out. So if you're working in here, this is another reason why stainless steel is nice, but you know, you won't be able to pick it up with one of these guys. I lucked out, so I didn't go down in other regions. I don't even need the magnet, but I just saw that it was there, so there's the other shim. So 2 in and then 4 out. All right, just show you how I'm working here. I'm going to remove the shroud or loosen it. I have that little Harris detail cart, roller cart to sit on, so that's perfect to work on a low car like this. Right now, I don't think I need to lift it, so I'm just going to work here. I would need to lift it if I have to get to the starter, which is really hard to get to, so you have to get to it from under there. But I think that should be okay. I'm going forward here, so I have to loosen the Allen over here on the shroud strap. This can go back. There's one hiding in here. So I'm going to get the 10 in here, pull that out, and keep moving. Alright, so just as a side note, if you are using the Renline strap, stainless steel strap, so you'll have the 6mm on top, 13mm on bottom. It doesn't have the captive nut like the stock one has. And it is the 3 bolts, 1, 2, and then the third one down there by the heater sock. Then the pulley's in the way, it won't come straight out, so you kind of have to pull the top and then carefully lift it up, out, and up. So I'm going to do that now when I have 2 hands available. Okay, so here I pulled it out, and our good friends in Stuttgart didn't give us a lot of wire to work with. So when you do your alternator, you kind of have to work in tight spaces. You can see the ground in there. It's the top of the engine, really. So once you're in here, you can kind of see a lot of cool stuff. And, whoops. Put a little towel here just to keep some of the magnesium from rubbing on the steel. And I notice I do have quite a bit of corrosion here. I didn't powder coat this or anything, but nothing structural. This is about 1.5 years old, so I'm not too worried about it, but it doesn't take long. I might try and brush that a little bit. And I'm going to start taking the shroud off here so I can get the alternator. Note the vanes for the airflow diverter. They go towards the driver's side. Thank me later. Alright, to get this off, you have 3 8mm. You know, one more thing as I take these off is that, you know, I think the stock ones would be like little tiny regular nuts. You know, I put stainless steel flange nuts on here, which, you know, I have to unthread them all the way. If I had a non-lock nut, I could just use my finger and just get it right off. But here, I made the job harder for me. But I have what I like the hardware better, and it's more secure. So it is stainless. If I drop it, I'm screwed. So I'm going to put down the camera so I can make sure that that does not fall into another region where I can't get it with a magnet. Okay, so when you get the nuts off the top, on the top 2 studs, we're talking about the ones that are cinching down the air diverter. Turn it this way, and then you'll see another one down in here. Not that one, but let's see, this one right here. And then you'll be able to push this away. So 3 of them hold on the shroud. Okay, so you push this out of the way, and then you'll have the studs that are holding the alternator on. So I'm just going to remove those, more of the 8mm. Alright, so once the shroud is out of the way, you got a little more room to work here. You can pull it out about that far, you get to your wires. So I'm just finishing up removing the alternator from the fan shroud assembly without losing the stainless steel hardware down into the pulley shroud there. Okay, so I'm going to continue this and get back to you. Okay, so I remove the fan. Really, there's nothing holding that on anyway when the nut is out. Don't lose this guy right here. This goes in here. That locks it in place. Okay, just for some reference for wiring, gotta take this off. That's the red. There's the blue. The ground. Alright, got everything disconnected. I'll give you a little close-up in the next video of the top of the engine. And then I'll show you what I got out. Okay, so here's the pulleys I'd removed. There's the alternator, fan shroud, and the fan. So this is the original fan. And I'm going to inspect this once again for cracks or any problems. Clean it a little bit. Clean this one. This one is new, a year and a half old, last time I was in there. The alternator. So I'll leave it at that. It's 4th of July. I get my fireworks on. I got all weekend to do this, so I'm going to get my weekend going and catch you on the next video, probably tomorrow or Saturday. So have a good day, everyone. Take care.